Hello everyone. So previously we have seen a database of MySQL and we have used one database, but for a complex application you have multiple database or multiple data source. So how we can configure the multiple data source? In this video we'll introduce another API in the same application, that is a product API. Just for example, to show the demo for how we can configure the multiple database, and I'll use another database called PostgreSQL so that we can have a different MySQL and PostgreSQL experience as well. So I'll just go with the Google VM. Inside that I already have, if I go with the Docker PSA, then I already have MySQL container. Now what I'll do is just simply run the PostgreSQL, and here is the command docker run. It's a detached mode -p 5432 there is an external as well as container port. We have the name of the container, and then we have an environment variable, that is a Postgres password, that's Postgres 123, an environment variable Postgres DB at the start of the Postgres, and that's products SP, that is products DB, and then we have the latest image. So let's run. All right, so now we already have um, image installed. So now let's check docker ps, and we have two images are up in the using the docker container. Now let's go to this postgres container using the docker exec command interactively, and then this container name, and then psql, then username postgres, and uh, this postgres db is the database. Okay, now we are inside the container, right? So now let us create a table. So create table is there. Now let's insert the records. I have sample records. I'll share the GitHub repository in the description. So total 5 insert are there. And then we have run the query. This select start from products, and now we have 5 products are there. And now we will try to create a post that is products API inside our Spring Boot application. Now let us go to this src Java, and in the model I'll just create a simple class called product, and then I'll create 4 fields: long ID, private string name, description, and the price. Okay, and then let's create this, and I'll just go with this all the 4 and also no argument constructor, and then the setter methods. All right, and in the application properties resource, I'll just paste so spring, this a d.ds.pg, and here I will change this IP address to the previous one, because we have both the database are there in the same machine. Okay, so username password, and this is a driver, and here what I will do is simply um, I just change this name here. If you see, uh, these are the name that I'll just change to spring dot ds dot mysql and jdbc hyphen url. Okay, and here also I will change this to okay, and this is fine. And for time being, for this demo purpose, I just put password over here, Okay, so this look pretty okay. Okay, fine. Now we'll also create a class called app_config or dbconfig. Okay, in, in which we'll configure both the data sources. So this class I will annotate with the configuration, and I'll just create a bean. Okay, and configuration properties, and prefix would be this one. This is our common prefix for Postgres, and this is our common prefix for the MySQL. So if I go to this app config, and okay, and then public data source, okay, and ps data source, I would give the name. So simply data source builder. So using the data source builder dot create dot build, and it will automatically take this rest of the properties from here, and it will simply create a database. So similarly for MySQL, so this is something for Postgres. Okay, so looks pretty okay. So our database are configured. If there is no error, we'll see if we get any error. So our data source is configured. Now we already have model. Now we can have repository. So previously we have used the JPA repository. In this tutorial we will use the JDBC template. Okay, and here in our case that is config. Okay, let's create a config package, and we'll move this to app config. Okay, now I'll just create a class called product DAO, and this component. Okay, and I'll auto wire this data source. Okay, okay, right, and also auto wired JDBC template. Okay, and um, first get all products. Okay, so public list and product, get all products. They should get all the products. So here we can format so that we can know. All right, so this way we can, I'm just using the GitHub Copilot here, so it has done everything. So we have JDBC template, then we do a query. We are creating a query, we are passing the query, then we have result sets, and we have the row number. Iterating all the row number, it will give you the list of all the products over here. Now let us do another API, get product by ID. Okay, and then add product. Okay, so this is again a very simple. Here the only the query get changed, and we are passing the new parameter. So here passing here in this way new object, and then we are passing the ID, and here the ID is uh, we will pass the ID from the URL. Now the same way here JDBC template dot update, and we are using the insert statement over here, and then after insert statement we are passing these values 1 2 3 4, and then we have an update which is pretty much similar to insert, except for you have where clause where you want to update the product where the ID is that the ID that you pass. Okay, and then at the last you need to delete product. Okay, simple. You just use the update statement of the JDBC and then pass the ID. All right, and now we will go to the service and we'll create a product service, right? So let's go to this service, create the service, or simply say okay, and annotate with the service and auto wired, and then product DAO, and do all the services, list products, and then product DAO, get all products, product by ID, then we have an add product, then update product, and insert delete product, and here just okay. So our product service is there, and now we go to the controller. Now create a controller, product controller, and annotate with the rest controller. Okay, and I'll just copy all these methods. um, okay, so they are very simple. I just copy pasted rather than typing it. You have a product endpoint, and then you get all the products, then products slash ID, then you get the get product by ID, then you have the post mapping for this add product, put mapping for the update, again you are passing the ID, and delete mapping for the product deletion. Okay, in our case here path variables are there, ID where you are passing the slash, and then when you are passing the JSON for adding the product or updating the product, then you pass this request body. Okay, it will automatically convert into the object, and here in our case path variable as well as the request body in case of update, because we are updating a specific product. And then we have the delete product. Using the ID you just need to pass the ID and it will go and delete the delete product. All right, and then for the sake of time I'll just update the the previously book repository and all in the similar fashion. All right, so now book DAO already I have updated. Similar way of product DAO, same. I just wanted to show only the multiple data source, how we can connect. With the single data source we already know that how we can connect. So what I have done is, if you can see over here, I have two bins. One is for MySQL data source, another is for Postgres data source, and I have the configuration property that is MySQL, and this is it, and it's for PostgreSQL. This is a configuration property, and prefix is spring.ds.pg. Okay, and here I have put the qualifier as a MySQL data source, and here the qualifier is a PS data source. Uh, you need to have one primary data source. So I just at the start of the Spring Boot application, it may throw an error if you do not have this primary at the rate primary annotation. All right, and then I show this application dot property. We don't need it, so I just put over here, but it will not be used because I have just disabled everything. I don't want initialization. I don't want any sort of dialect for now. If you get any sort of an exception in In a Postgres, like create DB method is not available, then you can use this one and put over there. I share this again, the whole um, repo, GitHub repo here in the description section, that you can take as a reference if you face any sort of a difficulty. Now, if you see here again, we already have seen that the similar way of both the configuration, only the values are different. All right, and then we have a DAO, we already seen that again. Then we have service, and then we have the controller, book controller. Okay. All right, so what I will do is I'll simply start the application again. These have no value over here. It's just for a database, data and schema if you want to create and all. All right, so let's try to run the application. And if I go to this uh, browser, and if I refresh it, so let's see. Okay, so we got this all the data, all the rows inside the MySQL table here. And then let's try the product database, that is a Postgres database. So book database is for MySQL, and product database is the Postgres SQL. So any number of the database that you want to create, you can use. What you need to do is just add one more bin, and then in case of the secondary bin, because for primary bin it will automatically take on the default data source, so you don't need to do lots of things. But in case of a secondary database data source, you just need to find a way to get this auto wire. So either you can use this whenever you are calling the method, you can just pass to the data source, but that is then you'll have to repeat everywhere. So what you can do is you can just use the constructor auto wiring, and then you can just pass the qualifier, and then you pass the MySQL data source. That data source will be passed, and then you can initialize the JDBC template over here in the constructor. So any number of 3, 4, 5, any number of data source that you want to try, you can try it. It's pretty simple. Again, I will share the repo link in the description. You can check out. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.